right, guys. Hi. Let me see how things are going here online. See if we've got anything up and running. Not yet. Then we'll get started. All right, here we go. All right, happy Sunday, guys. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. If you're on tonight, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Mid-Missouri. And tonight, hey Karen, hey Carol, thanks for joining. Tonight we're going to do a card with the Cheerful Daisy bundle. I can't believe I haven't done a Facebook Live on this. Hey Karen, thanks for joining. This is one of my favorite all-time sets out of the new annual catalog, and I kind of went back through my Facebook Live, hey Susan, and just to check out what I had done, and I was like, wait a second, I don't think I've done any with this set. So I jumped on this afternoon and made a quick and easy joy fold card. Hey Angie, thanks for joining. So we're gonna get started. This is today's card. So it's just a cute little joy fold card. We've got graduation coming up, so I'm making a couple of graduation or congratulations cards. And I've got a special little person that I've got this one for. I think it'll turn out awesome. So let's get started. Let's see here. So we're using a couple of different bundles. Yeah, Carol, I resisted it from my first order, but after seeing 2 cards, I was done. That's it. So this is the Cheerful Daisy set. So this is the stamp set. A lot of 2-step stamping that you can do. Lots of options that you can do. If you're not a die cutter, there's so much you can do with just the stamp set. And then we're going to use the Charming Sentiments. This was in the annual catalog that was a carryover. And it is a fun set. So it's got some great dies with it. So I'm going to show you how to use those. And then we've got the beautiful paper. What's that? Is it Fresh as a Daisy? Yeah, Fresh as a Daisy paper. So let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of the pages out of the Cheerful Daisy set. So this is one of the pieces of DSP that you'll get. You'll get 2 of these out of this DSP pack. And so these are some great panels that you can just put a sentiment on, add some ribbon, maybe some embellishment, and you're good to go. So I used this panel right here, and I'm just going to show you what we do with these panels. So the awesome thing is you can tell that there's definitely a way to cut this. So you're going to definitely take this side and, you know, this cut down here, and then you're going to be able to take this cut down here and this cut here, and that will give you just ways to hey Dawn, thanks for joining, to cut off this DSP so you can get these panels. So the great thing is with this Stampin' Up trimmer, you can line it up really easily with this groove right here. And I'm just gonna slide that along. I'm gonna put this out of the way so I don't mess it up. And then I'm going to bring this up here to the top. Maybe you can see it a little better. All right. And I'm going to cut that up. So there's one panel I've got. And then we're going to line this up with the tract. And there's our panel that we're going to use. So there's 3 great panels that you can use on your cards. So let's see here. So we're going to do a little bit of folding and putting together first and do a little adhering first. All right, so this is a piece of 8.5 by 4.5. No, I lost my sticky note. Yeah, I lost my sticky note. All right, so this is 8.5 by 4.25, and I've got it scored at 3 inches. This is a piece of garden green, and that's the Lemon Lolly cardstock. I have a piece of garden green that is 8 inches by 3 inches, and it's scored at 4. So this is going to be that top flap. So we'll fold this one first and set it out of the way. So I'm going to fold it and just burnish it right down there on the edges. And now I'm going to do the same with the lemon lolly. And so this is what creates this beautiful fun fold. So it's just, there we go. So one flap up, one flap over, and then you've got your inside. So I have a piece of garden green, and all these dimensions will be available on my blog tomorrow. And I've got a piece of the Fresh as a Daisy DSP that we're just going to adhere using Stampin' Seal. And we'll get the boring stuff out of the way. All right, just give that a nice good crease. Or burnish, I guess. Just to make sure it's nice and stuck. And so I'm using Stampin' Seal as my adhesive. I like that because liquid adhesive gets my fingers all sticky. And there, it does have a little bit of a time. Oh, you know what? I didn't create we're gonna have to cut a mat here. Okay, so I said that was 3 inches, so that must be 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. And I'm really weird when I use my paper trimmer. I go up and down all the time. You know, some people just use both up and down motion, you know, only up motions, only down motions. I do both. And I'm weird because I put it at the top or at the bottom. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that I have that nice little even edge all the way around before I place it down. And now we'll do that over on our card base. So normally on this Joyfold card, I go ahead and do the front. Hey, Johnny, thanks for joining. I do the front and then I adhere it. But today we're going to go ahead and put this folding mechanism in. So I'm going to give a little extra seal here just because we are going to be moving this portion around a lot. So I want to make sure that it has a good resistance. Okay, I'm going to move that over just a scotch. And that's an official term, scotch. All right, there we go. So there is our card base. Now let's get to the fun part. Well, let's do this one first. So I've got a piece of lemon lolly that I'm going to adhere to some early espresso because it wouldn't be a Tarabeth card if it didn't have a ton of layers on it. All right, so now we'll go ahead and put this on our front. And then we can start building our flower. And that's where the fun part is, guys. It is, these flowers are so pretty, I think. Okay. So here we go. All right, so I've done some die cutting ahead of time. Okay. So what I have is your Cheerful Daisy dies has this large full flower, and then it's got this detail die. But what's cool about this is it layers in with this piece right here. So you can put one in the back and then layer and then layer. And that's kind of what we're gonna do. There we go. We'll get that out of the way. So this is what I've got here. We've got our garden green sprigs. We've got 2 of these little guys because I did 2 of those. I've got 1 of the large ones. Here's the 2 solid ones. And then I have an extra one that I don't really know why I cut that. We'll use that later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to snip these flowers apart because they don't need to be together for this card. Okay, so here's this guy. We are 5 days from baby boy's graduation, you guys. I am a nervous wreck. I've already done this once. You would think it would be easier with the second kid, but it's not. But nice thing is, baby girl will be home for graduation, so that's awesome. I'm looking forward to having a little bit of time with her. She's come home quite a bit lately. It's been nice. And this mama is not complaining at all. Okay, I am going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to clean up these little bits and pieces. So I love this guy. He sits on my craft desk pretty much next to my seat all the time. I don't ever put him hardly in its container because I use him that much. Most of my cards do have dies. So I'm constantly cleaning up these little holes and things like that. So we've got 3 of these. All right. There's one. Okay. So if you have got your annual catalog, whether you got it for me or someone else, what you need to know is if your wish list is big, give me a call. Let's talk. Give your other demo a call. You need to get some of these things at a discount, and there's no better time than to join now because you get access to all the new stuff, and we're going to have the Christmas catalog coming out soon in a couple of months, and you'll get first access at ordering from there. Okay. All right, so I have my 3 flowers. Here we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering them. But before I do that, I'm going to take my Lemon Lolly Stampin' Blend. And I'm going to take the brush end. And I'm just going to do just some light coloring over those little holes. And this is because I want that to be the center of my flower to pop up. So I'm going to kind of sandwich this piece. So it doesn't really matter how you color it, like how much or how little. Because the edges are what's seen. So we'll do the large one first. So I have my solid flower. And I could always just adhere these 2 layers and make a gorgeous flower. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it one step above here. I'm going to grab some tweezers so that I don't get all yucky glue. Oh, this is new glue too. You know what that means. It's about to be all over the place. All right, I'm going to try not, yep, there it goes, already bubbling on me. So I'm being really light-handed with this glue, putting a little bit on all of the leaves, the petals, but try to not be too heavy-handed. So I'm going to roll this around and turn it until I feel like the layers are pretty close. So I'm going to push it down. And so you will see that it doesn't line up perfectly. And I think that's good because daisies have so many dimensions and so many layers. I'm actually going to turn it just a little bit so that I can see a little more on the edge. So now I'm going to take the centerpiece and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of decide where I think it'll look the best. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive, like I said, light-handed, because you don't want it gooing out all over the place. And I'm saying that for myself more than I am anyone else. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of move this around. And I like that because I don't want it all to be lined up. I want that staggered look with each of those flowers. Okay, we'll set that one to the side. And then we're going to bring one of each. So we've got the solid, we've got the top detail, and then we've got the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up first so I get an idea of where it will look the best. I'm going to pick that middle layer up and be light-handed with my glue and layer it up. All right. Oh, sounds like baby boy's home. He went fishing, but he went up to DeKalb this weekend. That's where he's going to college. And he was at a golf tournament up there for the wrestling team, kind of supporting his future team. Him and his friends went up and they got first place. How cool is that? All right. There's that flower layer. So I don't know if you can see just how it kind of like shifts a little bit. So, all right, now we'll do number 3. We're going to do it the same way. I'm going to first decide how I want that, how to look the best. Light, light, light on the glue. So I'm not really hitting, if you notice, I'm not really hitting the outsides either. I'm just doing it kind of right there in the center. And that way, if it sticks up a little bit, that's okay, because those daisies are definitely not one-dimensional. Okay. All right. Let's see here. There we go. And the way I love this so much with the yellow peeking out from under, like your daisy's center would be. So you could do that with, you could do the lemon lolly with a little of the copper clay marker. You could do it with the boho blue. We used to do crazy colored daisies when I was working in the flower shop. Okay, so now that we've got our daisies put together, we are going to start our card front. So I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put 2 just in the center of that large daisy. And I'm going to bring that right over here. And I'm putting it in the corner of my card, right there in the front. Now, I'm going to make one of these pop up a little bit. And then I'm going to put one underneath. So it'll go underneath, but it'll still pop a little bit. So I'm going to kind of pull my leaves up just a little bit. And set that there. When you know when I put my glue up. All right, so. And I have to say this leaf sprig is probably my favorite die of all. I love these little guys that you can really feed underneath that gives your card lots of dimension. And this is a soft, elegant leaf in my opinion, and I love it. All right, so we're just gonna pull that there. And then we'll do one more up at the top there, because I love them. I think they're pretty. I maybe could have done this in 2 different color greens. That might have been pretty. Okay. And so it doesn't matter if it's going over the top of that little card flap, because that's the beauty of these fun folds, is you can get that different layering going on. Oh, and now we've got to add this last flower. And we'll just use liquid adhesive on there. We'll slide it right down here. There we go. All right, now, because I didn't want to heat emboss on camera, I went ahead and stamped and cut and embossed, my congratulations. And so this is from that, hey Vicki, thanks for joining. This is from that Charming Sentiment die. This is this congratulations. And the cool thing about this is the die that goes with it. It just goes right along there, fits right there, and cuts it right on outside. So these are some cool dies for all the sentiments that you need. And there's so many sentiments, it's not even, it's crazy. There's thank you, beyond grateful, super fantastic news, wishing a happy birthday, faith over fear. I love the faith over fear one because you really need something like that sometimes. And that's a nice sentiment in my opinion. All right, so I've got a mini dimensional here that I'm going to take and put on here just on one end, because I'm going to lay this right across here, and we've already got this popped up with a dimensional. So I've got one on the end that I'm going to take the back off of. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to help get that little bitty tiny thing off. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with my tweezers and put just a little bit of glue or liquid adhesive right here on this end. And that's because that's going to connect to that flower. All right. And stamp it down there. All right. So there's basically the card front. The only thing we have left to do here is add a couple of embellishments. Here it is. Okay, so I have a pack of the neutral adhesive back sequins. So I thought these would be really pretty, these bronze ones with the early espresso. And I think I did 5 on my original. I think we're just going to do 3 on this one. I think I got a little overexcited with the dimension, or with the embellishments on the first card. All right, so there's our card front. We're just about done. All right, so next weekend is Labor Day, or Memorial Day weekend. I'm still planning on going live on Sunday night. So if you don't have plans, please make it a point to join me, because I'd love to have you. All right, I've got some early espresso ink. I'll be looking for stuff to do because next week is it. I don't think much is going to change with baby boy. Okay, I'm going to line that up on my grid paper, and I'm going to stamp the wish you everything wonderful. So that can go for so many sentiments. That can work for your birthdays. It can go for a new baby. Can work with this congratulations. So I'm going to mat that lemon lolly. And you'll notice I didn't stamp any on basic white today. I just used the basic white for the flowers, which I thought was fun and different. Susan, thanks so much. I'm glad you like it. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal and set that in, and there is your card. Gorgeous congratulations card, beautiful for anyone really. All right, now let's finish it up with a beautiful envelope. So I didn't use lemon lolly. I went ahead and used crushed curry here for my envelope. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to ink it up, and I'm just going to stamp that flower in the corner. And this is the outline stamp. So now I'm going to ink it up really good with some more crushed curry. And I'm going to stamp off, because this is a 2-step stamp. And I'm just going to line it up. And there we go. And I didn't take the center out and get that. Dawn, thanks so much. Karen, thanks so much. I'm glad you guys like this. I love this set. It's beautiful. Okay, we'll put the center here with a little early espresso. I'll get that closed up. And then we'll add some DSP to the back of this and be ready to go. Thank you all again. As I said, these dimensions will be available on my blog tomorrow. I appreciate you joining me tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I have a feeling it'll go by fast for me. All right, just a quick trim here. Ooh. Taking half the envelope off with it, it seems like. All right, so there's today's card. Little stamp on the front, or there. Thanks so much for joining me. You guys have an amazing week. We'll see ya.